changed my name to Shane Francis and got rid of all the stalkers. And he scammed well over 6 figures with that. I think I'm addicted to stress. It's not a pimp game. It's extremely professional for the agencies that are making money. Does she want a handbag or does she want to actually help the people around her? My first podcast, I'll definitely be doing more. I really enjoyed it.
Hello everyone, this is OnlyMonster doing the podcast, as always, with interesting individuals from the industry, sharing useful insights, telling interesting stories, and talking about things that you might want to know about. And today, we have a special guest today, Shane Carroll Francis. Hi man, thank you very much for being here. There is a story behind the name, right? So could you tell us?
So my real name on paper is Shane Carroll. My full name is Shane Francis Carroll, but I changed it to Shane Francis, and it was just a name that stuck. When I was 19, 20, 21, I was working as security.
Okay.
And being a doorman, you get a lot of trouble from people wanting to find out who you are.
Wow.
Finding out your work. So eventually I just changed my name to Shane Francis and got rid of all the stalkers.
Yeah, wow. I didn't know about the stalkers in that regard. Interesting fact. All right. And I know that many people actually know you for founding this group, Verified Earners. And this is a very big actual thing. And the group itself is very nice. I mean, the people there are very large agency owners and other people who know you from there. Like, tell us the story behind that. How did it all start?
So when I first got into OFM, I was bouncing around a lot. I had lived in Spain, Georgia. I lived in Italy for a bit. I was living in different locations. And there was a time just before my granny passed away that I was in Ireland to visit her. And I was kind of like at a stepping stone. I didn't know where I wanted to go. Funny enough, I went from Batumi, Georgia to Ireland, back to Tbilisi, Georgia. So at that time, there was no one in Galway doing OFM at all. And I was having a shower just before I went to the gym and I was like, man, I need to connect with people. And it was just a shower thought, what if I have everyone that join the group on the basis that they're making a certain amount? Because I felt at the time that I didn't have enough value or enough authority in the space. I was maybe 2 or 3K subscribers on YouTube. And I just wanted to get people in, free will, no payment up front or anything like that. Get them in and just start networking with people. And within the first 2 or 3 weeks, we had maybe 50 people. So I was very shocked with the results. And a lot of the big guys on YouTube themselves ended up joining that group and it's just slowly compounded. And I think July 2023 or maybe August 2023 is when I officially launched it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And people started joining and sharing and discussing and talking. And that, I assume, helped you personally grow as a agency owner yourself as well, and other agency owners too, right?
Yeah. All of my friends at this current point in time, bar one, has come from that group. And my closest friends were the first 10 people that joined. There's 2 guys there that were the first 10. And yeah, very, very good relationships. And it's been incredibly good for getting opportunities, getting traffic methods, just networking with people, chatting agencies, all that kind of stuff. I don't regret it at all. It was a fantastic decision. And it's so good that a lot of people have copied it themselves, but I'm all for competition.
That was the first one, right? I mean, your group appeared and then started to be copied.
Yes, I have no problem with copying. I think
we as well.
I think competition is very, very good.
Totally.
You can either be first or you can be the best. And mine is free and I was the first. So it's just there to help people. I don't monetize it. I don't make any money from it. I get maybe a few affiliates. There's a guy that does Instagram unbands. I get a few affiliate sales from there, but there's no entry fee or anything like that. So I just want people to get in their network, be open about communication and have a good positive environment and not have people scared of asking questions.
Yeah.
Because that does happen. As I was saying to you before the podcast, in the beginning, it was fantastic because people were all on somewhat the same level. You might have people making 100K to 300K. And then as people started getting in, a lot of the bigger players don't have profile pictures and they're making millions a month. They don't even speak.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of guys that are right around the middle that will just hate on others, which I don't like and I don't condone, because it just shuts down the group. It shuts down open discussion. But there is an aspect of accountability. If someone is saying something stupid, they should be clowned. But yeah, it was a very good decision. I think it's a good thing for the OFM community.
I'm really glad that you actually did that. I totally agree. This is a very nice decision. Tell us about the bad time for the group when this happened, that impersonating thing.
Okay, so that I have multiple groups.
Okay.
I have the Shane Francis Network. That is around 8,000 members. I've kind of stopped trying to grow that group for that exact reason. So I think August 2024, the group was starting to gain momentum, and I think maybe there was about 5 or 6K members in the free group. Verified Earners has never had many issues with scamming. There's been a few people scamming for 5, 10K between them, selling services, etc. They've been banned. But in my free group, I woke up, I was living in Spain at the time. I woke up to a few screenshots from people getting scammed by what looked like me and what he'd done. And I recommend anyone that has a big Telegram group or isn't even in the OFM community that has products that they sell or is a famous individual is get a grasp, if you're on Telegram, with the usernames that can be modified to look like you. In my case, it was Shane Carl Francis. The 2 L's for me are lowercase, and what he did was he did 2 uppercase I's, and it was an exact replica of my account. He had the Juicy channel at the time, or whatever channel I was promoting in my account, and it was an exact replica of my account, and he scammed well over 6 figures with that.
Damn.
Yeah.
That is a lot, and that is like something that actually can happen to anyone, and it's good to think about such things. So thank you for sharing. That is indeed a moment of not very good times. But a lot of people who are watching us right now, they know you as the founder of Verified Earners. And for those who probably do not know you, tell them about what other things you do right now. I know you also have an agency of yours and some other businesses that you run. Maybe you would like to tell a bit more about that.
Yeah, so the main focus is the agency, and it will always be the agency until OnlyFans dies down. Whether I stay an adult for the rest of my life, I do not know. Time will tell. Maybe when I go to Dubai, new things come across my desk. But as of right now, I have a link in bio, juicy.bio. That's doing about 20 million clicks a month. And we have an old tool that we're not really pushing anymore, but I do think it's notable to mention, was Only Spoofer. I want to say that we were the first for that. That netted 500,000, and for the product that it was, I think it was a very good outcome. There was very little cost in maintaining that, and it was only Stripe fees and WAP fees that were the cost. So yeah, agency is number 1, and that will be the main thing that I focus on all the time.
Nice. And you started, I assume, like 3-4 years ago. So this has been your main business so far.
November 2022 was when I launched OnlyFans. So if you want to get into that, my story behind getting into this business, in the beginning, I thought it was quite unique. But after speaking to a few people, it's pretty much the same story for everyone. So I'd broken up with a girlfriend around July. I had 2,000 euro to my name, and I wanted to change. And I've always been this guy ever since I was like 15 years old, like writing in my journal, like I want to make 10K a month. I promised my mother I'd retire, all these goals. And I think I finally came across something that I could do well. So the introduction was my ex-girlfriend was doing OnlyFans in the beginning. And at the beginning of the relationship, I found out about it. I wasn't happy about it as like a relationship perspective. But towards the end of the relationship, she'd stopped it. But I realized how little revenue she was making and how much money she was leaving on the table. So after we broke up, I tried getting every bit of information I could. Nate Aston was a notable figure, and Andrew Tate. The way Andrew Tate runs it, I do not agree with, but Nate Aston was very helpful. And just getting into the overall business, Andrew Tate was a big help. I think he's started a lot of people, and I think a lot of people have a similar story when it comes to Tate and getting them into this business. So when I came over to Spain, 2K to my name, and I was researching everything I could, I had a massive fight with my ex-girlfriend that day. It was a Saturday, and there was a date on Tinder that I was just going to leave. I was basically going to ghost her. And Luke, the guy that was working with me now, my CMO, he was basically like, man, you've got nothing to lose. You're not actually doing anything. You're not making money yet. Just go on the date. So I went on the date, met her. And after about 10 minutes, she was asking me what I do. I said I wanted to get into this business. And it turned out she was a top 100 porn star on Pornhub.
Wow.
She pulled out her phone. She showed me her OnlyFans account. She showed me her Pornhub account. And she was just like, look, she was doing content with her partner and they had broken up. She was back in Spain, pretty much the same story as me. She was living in the UK.
What a coincidence.
Yeah. So she basically said, look, I'm not really doing anything with this account. It used to be my boyfriend that managed it. I'm not with him anymore. If you want to handle it, you can. And as soon as that happened, I was just focused. I did not do anything else. I did not leave my bedroom. And obviously, one thing that I do want to discuss about in this industry, because I think it is an issue, is sleeping with creators. So in the beginning, I will admit that I was sleeping with her. But as soon as money started coming in, I was Mr. Business. All I cared about was the money. And that relationship dynamic was just never going to work because she wanted something from me, but I wanted something else from her. And time just passed. After 3 months, we'd scale the account to 25K per month, but the relationship just was not working. I just wanted to work on the OnlyFans account. And I've always been singular focused. I don't like mixing aspects of my life. Like my current girlfriend now, she doesn't know like the extent of what I do. Obviously she can go on YouTube and see, but I keep it very separate. I don't want her anywhere near this industry. She doesn't even have an Instagram account. I keep everything private in my private life. And to be honest, I don't like when relationships jump into this industry. But that's my personal opinion. In your opinion, what's the number one mistake that agencies usually do? I will talk about personal experience. So I do think I'm in a unique position with YouTube. A lot of people will message me with ideas, with businesses that they have. And if I could wind back the clock, I would totally get rid of Alex Hormozy once again said the girl in the red dress or shiny object syndrome. There's going to be a lot of people that come to you with opportunities. And in the beginning, I've heard this so many times, like to be successful in business, you need to learn to say no. And it's only when you go through it yourself that you become wise enough to understand, okay, this is going to take away from my absolute goal. It's not going to make me more money than what I'm currently doing. And it's just going to sacrifice my time for a very little payout if it works out. So learning to say no from every point in your business. If, for example, you're a beginner and you're focused on Instagram and you see two guys in Telegram groups, one saying Reddit is amazing, one saying TikTok is amazing, and they're doing good results, and you're only starting to get good results with Instagram, don't deviate. Just focus on one thing at a time. And shiny object syndrome, as I said, just focus on one thing. And I would recommend that Instagram is the best thing to learn, because even after OnlyFans dies, whenever it may be, you have those skills. Like I was talking to one of my close friends. He runs a big chatting agency, and he was slightly worried about AI chatting and how long does he actually have to build this business and how long is it going to last after he's built it to the revenue goal that he has. And I was just saying it doesn't matter. Like you're becoming a master at sales. The skills that you're going to have after this are going to transpond into any other business that you do. He's a very good businessman, and I've learned a lot from him. But I would say just focusing on one thing and cutting out any distractions that you may have. So whether you start YouTube or a personal brand, you're going to have a lot of people coming to you. Whether you're just focusing on an agency, just focus on one thing and try block out all the distractions, other traffic sources, and just focus on the thing that is going to get you to your goal and what you think is going to do it. Well, that is deep. I mean, for sure. That helps not only build a successful business, like to grow personally, I would say. Nice. And you already touched base on this topic, but maybe you could mention some kind of example that you personally saw on creators doing repeated, consistent mistakes that might be avoided, and talking about this healthy relation in between agency and the creator. So you already mentioned that you separate these things, and personal remains personal, business remains business. But speaking of this business part, how it is a healthy relationship
between a creator and an agency? How does it look like?
So I myself am very antisocial. I would rather not talk to a lot of people during my day, and I would rather just be on Telegram chat, Slack communication, whatever it may be. To keep it healthy, it's just about the onboarding process. So really understanding the creator that you're working with. The way that we do our agency now and that we're trying to scale, we can talk about later, but my goal is just to take as much time off the creator's hands. We are getting into hybrid models and just scaling with the whole goal of taking time away from the creator. We want to onboard the second or third account that they have, start from scratch, try get it to 50 to 100K within 6 months. And once we get to that point, usually it's the case where they'll have referrals and they'll want to give us models because obviously we pay them for the referral. And then we can do collabs on the OnlyFans account, and the first day could make 5-10K if it's a big account already. If you have 50, 100,000 free subs on the account, you're good to go. So in terms of the relationship with the creator, you just need to get to know each creator on a personal level through the first few calls, because you will be talking to them a lot in the beginning, figuring out what works, what they're comfortable with. A lot of the times we'll come up with methods, we'll test it on one of the creators that is open to do anything, and then we'll pose it to another creator and be like, look, we have results with this, it's worked with this account, this is the money that we've made from it. Are you comfortable doing this? Yes or no? Because what I have noticed is some of the girls that work with us will pose an idea, they won't give us an answer, they won't reply for 2 or 3 days, and then we ask as a follow-up and they're like, no, I'm not sorry. So I've come to learn that when dealing with the creators, you just need to give them clear instructions. It's no problem if you say no, just please say no. Yeah.
So you just say it like that to make sure that they feel comfortable saying no. It's important to hear back and no from them if they are not comfortable, I assume. But yeah, finding what they enjoy doing and this personal approach helps onboard and I assume retain as well. Healthy relation. Nice.
Yeah.
Great. And I also know that there are 2 other major areas in agency working, organizing, systematizing that relates to chatters and how you work with them, and also the traffic and how you work with that. I was about to ask about the metrics, the most key important indicators that you always keep track on in terms of probably traffic in the first place. And also I want to ask about chatters, but that's kind of like second part of my question.
Okay, so in terms of traffic, I don't know if it's because I started owning Juicy and we can get a lot of information on the back end. We do have an update coming that is going to show all of this, but I've had access to it myself. So things like the bounce rate on the OnlyFans page itself, the revenue per visitor, the LTV that you're getting, the conversion rates, because obviously we're focused fully on free pages now. And when we started this secondary agency of trying to scale new accounts of existing creators, we were experiencing maybe 6 to 9% conversion rate on OnlyFans with a free page from Instagram, because our major source is Instagram. And now we can get creators to 12.5, and our best is around 15%, just purely organic traffic. No many chat systems, no DMs, purely just link in bio, organic content. And we're really starting to see a boost in conversion rates. But I think with the juicy.bio, having the analytics and seeing how people pass through the page, you can really start to understand the mindset behind fans.
Okay, nice. So this is what makes you understand which traffic sources actually work best for you and which ones do not convert that well. So you do what is best for your creators.
On a deeper level, because we are fully focused on Instagram, but the actual content. So the content that you can post, Instagram doesn't care about your location. It's not like TikTok where you have to do a router or SIM cards or anything like that. Instagram cares only about the content that you post, and certain content that you can post will get 60, 70, 80% USA. I'm based in Poland. All of our posting accounts are based in Poland with a Polish IP SIM card. We're getting good US clicks.
Wow.
So it's on a content level. I wouldn't say on platforms.
So this is like a strategic possibility that gives you an opportunity to like target US audience when you know what you're doing, how to reach there. It kind of like gives you that, wow, okay, nice. This is valuable. Cool. And what about organizing chatters teams? I know it's rather the HR process, supervision, but maybe there are some things that you would be comfortable sharing in terms of how you do it, what's the best practices for you?
So when I first started, I was paying 30% to guys in Ireland, my friends from college, friends from the gym. I was paying 30% of the chat revenue, so messages and tips. Mm-hmm. And I thought by giving them a ton of money, they'd be motivated to figure things out themselves. I was only getting into the business, so I didn't have a full repertoire of SOPs, how to upsell, how to know when to push, making sure that this guy got paid on a certain day, and then you know that you need to milk him for that exact day every week. There was a lot of things that we learned as we went on. But in terms of chatting now, we work with one big chatting agency. They manage most of our accounts. And then we have one or two accounts that we're doing ourselves. But we will most likely just move those over because the results we get, I will be showing that on the new YouTube channel, the results that we're getting with that chatting agency, but they're very, very good and they handle everything. And that is one of the guys that I met from Verified Earners. Was one of the first 10 people to join. Nice. Very good guy. I lived with him in Cosmo and I just seen his work ethic. He's king of chatting and yeah, he's just the guy that I go to. Nice.
And I assume you started with just 30% commission with no salary, and that is quite a high commission, I would say, right? And then you understood that it's rather the materials, the education, the tips, the tricks that need to be like given rather than just the money, the commission, right?
Yeah, I really noticed that with my friend because when we started living together, we were living in different apartments, but we were living in the same building. And he was paying his chatters like 5-10%, and he was getting much, much better results than me.
Wow.
Like I know a lot of people hate on ratios, but some of his ratios on his accounts were like 1-20, and he was doing $5 to $10K in sub revenue a month. So he was making good money with his chatting team. And I just realized at that point that, look, you need to start a chatting agency and I need to be your first client.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I love this synergy. It's like people doing good for themselves and then doing good for others and also earning money for that. Amazing. I mean, I love how this networking works this way. Have you seen cases in which like creators get in touch with you or maybe with your operational managers and say that they're kind of stuck? They feel like they need help or solution, and maybe there are some typical solutions that might help creators.
Yeah, so one thing that agencies struggle with is getting content for creators from creators when they're working with them, and that's why we're trying to shift into hybrid. I would say about 90% of our traffic. There is one method that we're doing. I can talk about it now because it's still quite difficult to do, and it's all about your scripts, and that is the skill in itself. We're doing talking content. And what we'll do is we'll have the creator speak. She'll speak out the script. It'll be a video just her relaxed in her room. And then we will apply AI overlays. So we'll change the outfit, we'll change the background, we'll make the face look better. But then that allows us to scale multiple accounts with completely different branding. And as you know, with Instagram, the impersonation bans come when you copy backgrounds with the AI. It's not going to be really a problem if you're doing organic content with a creator. You're not going to run into this. But if you're taking content from other Instagram creators, whether you screenshot the background of a reel and then you use that for yours, you're going to run into a case where you're getting banned for impersonation.
Even from the background?
Even from the background, like that outside pixels of the frame. So yeah, what we kind of figured out what we wanted to do in order to scale it. And once again, going back to the Instagram content, Instagram only cares about the content. If you speak English, or if you target an American audience or English audience in a certain way, you're going to get into that area. Like for example, if we were to sign a Polish creator and she starts speaking in Polish, it's going to be 90% Polish audience within a week. So yeah, I would say, going back to your question, the problem with agencies is getting content from the creator. But the creators that reach out to me, they're extremely motivated, but they just might not be a creator that suits our niche, so we don't sign them. They're motivated to do the content. The problem that they run into is not knowing what to do. Like, they might have a very good body, they might have a very good face, but I would look deeper into it. I would look at your personality and your personal hobbies. Because if you're into the gym, or if you're quite flirtatious and outgoing and you can speak very comfortable to the camera, that is going to be a major asset for you that is going to separate you on the feed. Because one thing that I try to teach my staff is, and it's one thing that I still do this day, is start doom scrolling on Instagram. And every time that you see something, it's actually what Andrew Tate said in Hustlers University. Every time you go somewhere and you spend money, you need to analyze, why did I give money to this person? On Instagram, it's the exact same system. When you're scrolling, doom scrolling, you need to check with your mind, like every time you scroll past something, what actually catches your attention. And I would say that is a key thing that can help creators a lot. Go onto the Instagram platform. Every time you see a creator that is doing well, that's gotten good shares, good likes, like to view ratio, in my opinion, is very important. Every time that you see that, go to the profile. I have a free tool on Telegram as well, OFM Helper Bot. Just type in that username and you can scrape the top 10 reels of that account and you can just build out a database. It's completely free. Wow. That would be a key thing that could help a lot of creators. They want to work, they just don't know what to do. If you can put in the work, the right type of content, you can be extremely successful, because you posting with your audience, it's a lot more personal than if an agency is doing it.
Okay, nice. Maybe any recommendations on best AI tools that you're using lately?
If you're an absolute beginner, it's a bad time that you've mentioned it now, because I don't know an alternative. We have our own private solutions, but Higsfield for the past 3 months has been really good. So if you just look up Higsfield Nano Banana Pro, if you use that for the base image, it'll be safe for work. And if you want to enhance the girl, because it will tone down the curvature of the girl.
But carefully, right? I mean, OF doesn't really like when it's a lot of AI.
Don't do this on OnlyFans. Don't do it on OnlyFans. But for Instagram marketing especially, it's not patched yet. And there is ways that you can circumvent IG detecting if it's AI content or not, the watermarks that come up, and the metadata, etc. So go on to Higsfield. You can experiment with it. It has been patched, that platform, but what you will learn is Higsfield is just a facilitator of all the AI generation tools. So you have Cadream 4.5, Nano Banana Pro. If you have a very basic looking girl that's not very curvy, Nano Banana Pro is all you need. Cadream, if you need to enhance certain body parts, you can do it with Cadream. But if you're a total beginner wanting to get into this, that is all you need for image generation. And then the second part of it is image to video. So you can do Kling motion control. That's basically where you take a creator that is dancing or doing said piece of content, and then you will overlay your image and Kling will match them together and output the video in your style of creator.
So for Instagram, that's totally acceptable, doesn't lower the rates of conversion, doesn't lower any kind of...
No. So one thing I am against is taking other creators' content. So there is one girl, I won't mention her name, but she's very good at speaking. And we took a lot of ideas from her and tailored it to our models in the way their personality is. But a lot of guys are copying that exact girl, not changing the voice, not doing anything like that. I disagree with that a lot. Just because it's short-term gain, it's not long-term. It's only going to come back and bite you in the ass eventually. You're going to wake up one day with a 100k follower account, and you're going to have copyright strikes, or you're just going to lose the account. So if you're going to do this, I would focus on actually building a brand with AI, because it's very easy to do. And lastly, one suggestion that I have is every single creator on Instagram is good looking now. And the new guys that are coming into FanView, they're only focused on looks. The really successful guys understand the brand and niche with the creator. It's not all about the looks. And 2 examples that come off my head are the very, very dark Nigerian girls. That was something super unique, and it went mega viral because it was different. It wasn't because the girl was attractive. All the AI girls are attractive now. So you really need to learn how to stand out, and that's what AI is for. Another example is the 2-shade skin girls. So it'll be like black, white, or it'll be birthmarks. That is unique content. And those are the guys that are successful on the platform, because they understand we're competing against every single girl that is attractive now. So when it comes to AI, you need to learn how to still separate yourself. It's not about the looks.
Mm-hmm. So just being very good looking is not a very powerful competitive advantage anymore.
Yeah.
So you need to stand out, and you definitely have a set of criteria on what defines a creator you would be working with from a creator you would rather not be working with. Could you share on that?
Yeah, so I would say it's a willingness to learn. And obviously, when you hop on creator calls, I do all the calls myself because I want them to be the first point of contact with the agency. I don't want to outsource that to anyone yet. You can always get a good indication of their work ethic based off what they're currently doing. If they're an existing creator, if they're brand new, it's different. But when it comes to being successful and have a 100% hit rate on signing a good creator and making them make 100, 200, 300K, I don't have a 100% success rate on that because when you sign the girl, they can come to you with a lot of promises. They can have their existing account, but money does change certain people. And as soon as they're making 100K, but they're doing 10% of the work that they were doing when they were making 10K, that has negative impacts on them and their work ethics sometimes. But that is in rare cases. I would say for the most part, from the YouTube, we get very, very hardworking girls that just want to change their life and want to improve the people's lives around them. Because it is a fantastic way of making money. And if you can look after your parents, if you can get a new house, if you can get the car that you've always dreamed of, as long as we can facilitate that, that is one thing that I like. And if the girl is motivated with that, it's always good. If she's just motivated to buy handbags, it's not really going to work out good.
And well, I personally heard that some creators say something like, I would really prefer to work alone without an agency because either they are like not professional or something, which is hard to estimate and evaluate in numbers, probably lack of experience. But the other thing is that one of the objections, and I'm curious to find how you deal with that, is the fear that agency kind of takes a huge share of revenue. As obviously, later on, they invest in traffic, they invest in making sure chatters are doing well and all that. But how do you kind of overcome this objection, like whether a creator is considering to work with an agency or not to work because of this difference, how much money agency gets in the creator?
So there's a few ways, and I actually got this from another YouTuber. I think it's a fantastic idea. So with our new method that we're trying to scale with the free pages, we don't take existing accounts. Now, if they have a free page, we'll take that page. But we want to start a fresh account and build our own brand with that. And one of the main factors for that is share for share. So we'll just grow the agency as a whole. And then once you step into the system, you'll be rewarded with all the traffic we currently have on the pages. And I think as OnlyFans goes on, you will start to see a lot more free pages. Now, in terms of the 50-50 or 65-35, whatever percentage, in terms of that objection, the way that we plan to do it is the current girls that we have, I haven't proposed the idea, and I probably won't for these exact creators because they've already signed the contract. That's not the correct thing to do. But in future, I would say if you're an agency and you're in a situation where you feel like you are doing all the work, simply propose, look, we'll get you to 50K, it's 50-50. But if we're doing XYZ and we're getting all of this done for you, if you are doing AI content, for example, there's very little work required by the creator. It's basically scripts, PPVs, OnlyFans content. It's very little work. You could propose that for every 10,000 that you make over 50K, you get 1% extra. There's very unique ways to do it. But there's other ways that the creator can reward you. If you get a creator to 50K, it's very easy to get more models in her niche because birds of a feather flock together. If she's a certain niche, if she like goth, for example, it's very rare that you're going to have a goth girl that hangs out with a blonde, like just a regular blonde, basic girl. So she will have girls in that niche. She will have friends and you can get referrals through that way. So I wouldn't always just be focused on the percentage. I would be focused on the overall net gain that you can get from that creator. And you can always reward her back with referral signups or whatever it may be.
Nice, wise thought. Yeah, I like it. I mean, that makes sense. Brings value, not necessarily with direct money, but the other ways. Cool. Thank you for mentioning it. If there is someone who actually wants to work with you, what's the best way to get in touch with you and or maybe with your team?
You can still reach out to me and I can connect you with a good agency and verified earners. But we're really trying to focus on little hubs for the girls, especially with the share for share, because it's a lot easier to do content together and we can do collabs. But our main focus is free pages. So if you are a creator that has a spare page, because you can have 3, if you want us to manage the page, feel free to reach out to us. In most cases, we can get the accounts to 50K or 100K within the first 6 months. Sometimes it's slow. It depends on what type of content styles we're doing. We are managing a lot of the content by ourselves. We're not requiring you to post. We're not an agency like that. We try to take all of the work away from the creator, and they're just giving us content, but soon enough, they won't be giving us content at all. Yeah. So if you have a free page that you're not currently monetizing, I'd be happy to speak to you.
Cool. Very nice. I hope that people that are watching us today will find this as also potential opportunity for growth. And you definitely are a guy that knows what you're doing. So this is something that I believe is all valuable. And the things that you were mentioning, golden. I mean, I myself thought like, wow, never thought about that. Cool. Shane, let me ask you a few more quick questions, right? Maybe you have some quick answers with insightful, cool, valuable tips. A red flag in a creator and a red flag in an agency.
Red flag in an agency is promising results. If they don't get the results with what they led the onboarding call with, I would just cut ties. A red flag in a creator is her overall goal. As I said before, does she want a handbag or does she want to actually help the people around her? If she's doing it for others and to give everyone else a better life inside of her, she's always going to have a reason to work. If it's just for a handbag, as soon as she gets the handbag, it's done.
Okay, so thinking about others.
Yeah, and the handbag is like a symbol for just materialism and wanting an easy life.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, nice. One tool you use every day.
OFM helper bot.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, very good.
Best decision you ever made in this industry?
Making verified earners, 100%.
I totally agree. I love it. Very nice thing you did. One thing you stopped doing is wasting your time. You made notes on every 15 minutes. What's junk, what's waste, you stop. Clever, wise point.
Yeah, just YouTube time blocking. Alex Hormozy time blocking. I'm pretty sure Dan Martell, the author of Buy Back Your Time, it's a fantastic book. I'm pretty sure he talks about it in his book as well. I've read it a few times, but I don't know if he says it exactly. Time blocking and getting an assistant, or if you're repeating tasks day after day that is not actually making you money. A lot of the guys that reach out to me asking questions, they're asking about new methods or whatever. Maybe I say always focus on money making tasks first in the morning. If you want to experiment with things later on, then do that. One guy in particular, Cursor, is like a AI coding software, helps you code. That can become extremely addictive, but if it's not actually helping you make money, or the thing that you're trying to automate with Cursor isn't actually making you money, just scrap it. Try pay someone else to do it, but don't be devoting your time to something that is not actually moving the ball forward.
But this is like a long-term strategy. I mean, when it comes to doing what you enjoy, I would say this is a good advice. But at the same time, don't fall too deep into enjoying the process of doing something that is like vibe coding or whatever. Focus primarily on tasks that give you money, and then also do these things that you enjoy. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, in your personal life, you can do whatever you want. But if it's like solely focused on growing your agency, if it's not going to move the ball forward, if it's not going to make you more money, and you can pay someone $100, $200 to do it for you, yes, it could help that you're learning how to do it yourself, and code is only going to get better. I personally would just focus on money-making tasks.
Yeah, that makes total sense to me. One question I have about this. One thing you'd outsource first?
I would say chatting in most cases. I think it buys back a lot of your time. and a lot of your stress. And yes, in some cases, certain chatting agencies will lose a lot of LTV, but it's a lot easier to work on outsourcing traffic methods like Reddit or Twitter. Once you have a viable system, then you can go back and focus on Twitter, or focus on chat, sorry.
Yeah, right. DMs, in-house or outsourced?
I would say for me, it's majority outsourced, but a lot of the big agencies, they do have their own in-house chatting. But if you have a good chatting agency, you don't need to worry about that.
Mm-hmm. One myth about OnlyFans that annoys you?
The stereotype that your life is around girls all of the time and it's just boats and parties and all that kind of stuff. I don't see girls ever. And I don't want to. I just want to focus on the money making aspect, and I want to enjoy my life, hang out with my guy friends and just enjoy life. But yeah, the stereotype is it's not this pimp game where you get all these girls around you. It's a proper business, and I just hope as the industry develops, people will start to understand that it's not a pimp game. It's extremely professional for the agencies that are making money.
Definitely. And you are totally right that this myth exists, that it looks like luxuries and all that. But indeed, it's processes building, systems building, and organizing workflows. Indeed. I know we cannot make any kind of predictions, but maybe one prediction for this year, 2026.
I would say Instagram is going to come out with an update. They're either going to address AI content with a watermark or a label. Their detection system is going to get a lot stronger, or they're going to do the opposite and embrace AI content, just accept that it's part of the world that we live in now, and it's only going to get bigger. So something is going to happen around AI content being on platforms. It's just a matter of fact if people can circumvent the bans or the restrictions, or if the platforms can overcome the people that are pushing on it. But there's always ways around it. But I do think there's going to be something happening with AI this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with so many AI tools emerging and evolving and becoming so powerful, it's like both ways. Viruses, antiviruses, and AI, anti-AI. Yeah, we will maintain our minds open and see how we can overcome. Totally agree. Shane, this is actually amazing, and I mean it. All these advices, recommendations, and valuable things that you mentioned, me having particularly nothing to do with, building an agency, I find that extremely interesting and wise, and I think this is golden and valuable for everyone who's watching us today. I really hope that you enjoyed, and that I'm pretty certain you found a lot of valuable comments here, ideas that will also help you build your businesses. If you are creators, if you are agency owners, I enjoy showing all this to you. I really enjoyed this conversation with you, Shane. Thank you so much for this time, for this insightful and valuable talk. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. It was my first podcast. I'll definitely be doing more. I really enjoyed it. It's given me a lot of things to think about. And when I rewatch it, I'll probably be annoyed that I stuttered or didn't say the right thing. But I think it's part of the growth process, and I'll be looking forward to doing more.
This is amazing. I mean, this exclusive podcast. Wow. I hope you enjoyed. And as always, this is OnlyMonster bringing you valuable insights from the inside the industry with wise and experienced individuals bringing you their experience. Hope you enjoy. See you next time. Goodbye, guys.